Good evening, keepers of the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and joining me this Tuesday in the co-host seat, we have Steve the Voice White. How you doing tonight, Steve?
Good day.
Good day, buddy. Nice to see you, man. How's your week been for you?
Excellent.
Nice. And also a frequent collaborator on the channel and all-around perfect person. We have Roger Metarog. How you doing tonight, Roger?
Perfect. Oh, my gosh, Gary. Gosh. That's a high standard you put me to, my friend. I'm doing great. Fabulous. Great to be here with Steve and Sarah, and of course yourself once again. Always a pleasure to be on with the folks of your ilk.
And of course, I mean, if we're bringing Roger on, we got some royalty with us tonight. We have none other than Bronze. Oh my gosh,
silver-haired
Bronze Age babe. I went to reverse it by accident. So Sarah is here with us tonight, and Sarah, how are you doing this evening?
I am great. Thank you very much. It's Tuesday, so almost the end of the week.
Right. Well, the way time goes by now, it feels like it, doesn't it?
It does.
It feels like I start the week and the week's done. Then I'm like, oh, days off. And then I'm like, wait, I'm back at work already. What's going on? Where'd my days off go?
Listen,
No,
if
Gary,
I get to talk about
Book Day Eve.
Yes. Listen. Tomorrow's a big day.
Yes.
Tomorrow's a big day.
I know.
Neil
Some
Adams.
of us are already reading our comics for tomorrow. I don't want to say who.
Bronze Age Golden Girl. Thanks, Jackson.
Well, and guys, so we're gonna get Sarah on in the hot seat too, so we'll be able to learn about her collecting and all that. So we're gonna schedule that. So you got that to look forward to coming from Sarah. But Sarah, as we like to start these things, give the quick 2 minutes who you are, what your channel's about. We'll say hi to the audience, then we'll come back for your first book.
Sure. My channel is Silver-Haired Bronze Age Babe, and I started it about 4 years ago without knowing how to name your channel. Because if I had known people would try and say it out loud, I never would have picked this. I thought it was going to be easily searchable. And so I apologize to everybody who has ever had to say this word. But She-Bab is a nice shortening of it, or just Sarah is fine too. My channel, I am a DC girl. That's I know a little bit about Marvel to be dangerous, but I am a Silver and Bronze Age DC collector. So my channel has lots of videos about my collection and stuff that I get in across the transom. And within the last year since we've spoken, Gary, I've started doing shorts. We have Magic Lasso to thank for saying, hey, you ought to do some. So what I do with my little shorts video is basically make a comic book jukebox. So I take a little 15-second snippet of a cover of a comic book, and I find music from my era, oldies like the 60s and 70s. Look at that. There we go. And put it to music. So I post those up a few times a week. My videos, I'm sporadic. I'm in kind of a rush right now. I've got a couple things up that are new, a couple things that coming up, but sometimes, and then I just disappear, so,
Right.
and then I come back. So, but I've met some great people in this community and I really love it. And which is why I'm so thrilled that you asked me back. Cause I could talk about
it's our pleasure, Sarah.
Comic books on the internet. I'm in.
Now, was it more of a challenge picking out another set of books, or was it easier this time around?
Okay, it was easier this time because the other day I posted a video of a set of stories called Dr. Pat, which appeared in Lois Lane comic books. Mm-hmm. And if you saw the video, first of all, thank you. But I was flipping through the books and showing it, and like, how I usually manhandle books. Someone new to my channel popped into the comments and said, well, they're your books, but if you keep doing that, you're going to pull the staples. You could just feel that he was really on edge about how I was manhandling these books.
I saw that video and I'm like, oh, Sarah better not get me down another rabbit hole. She got me with Lady Cop. Now she's gonna get me with Sarah. Now she's gonna get me right. Now she's gonna get me with Pat.
I'm gonna get you down a rabbit hole or two. But so for my books tonight, in honor of the poor man who just went apoplectic is how I treat my books, I went up to my key. I have a box in my attic called Keys, which are key comic books, but mine are ratty keys, because I'm a reader. I read them. Yes, I do have some pristine raw books, and I have some slabs. I know how you're supposed to treat comics.
They're comics. They should be read.
I'm a reader. I like to hold them and smell them and do all sorts of stuff with them. So
yes, sniff worthy. Yes,
God bless you.
So my theme tonight is Shebab's Reader Keys. And I just grabbed a bunch, and I'm super glad that I see Jackson Kirk in the chat. And Jackson, can I start with my first book? Are we ready to go?
Well, let's say hi to the chat
okay,
first.
Yeah,
and then
sure.
Start with your first book.
Sure.
So the first thing this evening, we got Las Cruces. Good evening, James. How you doing? Kevin, how you doing tonight, sir? Hulk Collector. One of my all-time favorite people. Jerry the Jitterbug. Paul from Psychedelic Comics. Good evening, sir. And guys, my apologies for the voice. I've been sick all week, but I'm battling through it because I just don't care. Steve White, one of our co-hosts. The original Blue Ranger herself, Miss Tina Carrington. How you doing, Tina? Joe, Anachronic Comics. Great to see you, buddy. How you doing? Yep. We have Mr. DVH. How you doing, Dr. Von Hoots? Nice to see you, buddy. And, of course, the aforementioned troll of the internet and chats, D. Jackson Roy Kirk. How you doing tonight, Jackson? Brad, how you doing tonight, sir? Good to see you, buddy.
My Canadian brother.
Right. And Milt, good evening, Milt. Nice to see you.
Oh, yeah.
And got Roger, one of our co-hosts. We have Mr. Chuck Hensey. Great to see you, Chuck. The immortal Biggie Shack. Good evening, Biggie. Nice to see you, buddy.
Hello, Biggie.
And let's see.
Julius.
We're going through. And
he's over here.
Couching and Slouching with C. Bizzle.
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Great name.
We already got some great conversations going on in here. All right, so we are caught up for now. So let's get back to you. I'll just give a quick nod to the people as they come in. But let's start out with your first book.
Okay, so Jackson knows what's coming. And Jackson, I just want to say, take a deep breath or perhaps lie down in advance of what I'm going to show.
Go into your Zen mode.
Yeah, be very calm, be very calm. So this is a key. This is a key book. Oh,
oh no.
Oh my God.
It's a key pamphlet at this point.
It's a key little
key-ish
portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's story time, children.
How not to treat your comic books.
Yeah. Jerry the Jitterbug can fix that.
Yeah.
Let's see. There are a couple. Oh, this whole section is together. So I have to do something about that.
Wow.
But then it continues to fall apart. So yeah, this is the first issue of Wonder Woman getting her costume back in 1970. Oh wait, let me check the date.
Is that an issue there? Oh well.
Yeah. So now DC Comics did put out a facsimile issue of this. So I have a couple of those. And I just want you to know, I actually have a slab copy of this. So I'm not, but it's just cracks me up. This is so bad. Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. That's the type of book that gets Jerry the Jitterbug excited because he thinks of all the ways he could fix it.
Leaf cast it, staple it back together. Yeah.
Okay.
I hear he's making pulp as we speak.
Yeah.
Right?
He's in his basement with that mixer going to town.
Yeah, he's got mixers already going. He's like, okay, I know the color there. I can
Yeah,
get
what's
it.
the color of that?
I can
page?
already see him on the other side of the camera. My precious.
Yeah, the Tengoku paper is being ripped off. I know, Jerry. He's ready to go.
Don't you think though this would be somebody's Waterloo? I mean, seriously, it's like, come on. All right.
Oh, boy.
So that's book one. Book two. I'm not going to take the rest out of bags because really, it's how Jackson can only take so much, and I agree with him. And, so you'll just have to take my word for it that these are ratty because they are. This issue of Batman. This is number 205.
What a great cover.
It's to me the quintessential pop art Batman of the late 60s. And I just love everything about it. I love the Carmine Infantino art. It reminds me of the TV show in the late 60s, which as a kid I remember sort of seeing and really thought it was cool. So this is a must-have, and but of course I must not pay much for it, so that's why it's in this.
That's why it's ratty.
That's why it's
but
ratty.
readable.
No, a ratty but readable
before,
key.
Sarah.
You haven't?
Well, no, that's a fantastic cover.
Oh yeah, this is it. Just speaks for itself. It is
reflection cover.
It screams 60s.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that's number 2.
Diagonal logo. That's 60s all the way.
Well, and I like too that Batman and Robin are in his glasses, and look at the smile. He's not worried. He's like, yeah, here they come.
Well, he's got Buddy with the gun in the background there. He's
right. You know how villains are. They're
I am blind.
Yeah, I got this. These two guys are nothing.
They've only ousted about 500,000 villains. I'm gonna be the one to get them.
Right.
Right. DVH, that was issue 205, sir.
There you go.
Yes, 205.
DVH is ordering it as we speak.
I was going to buy it now.
I hear the eBay tickles.
Googling, scrolling.
All right, still in the 60s, still with Batman.
Nice.
This is Detective Comics. Oh my God, getting old sucks. Is 363.
It's not the age, it's the mileage.
Yeah.
The alternative is worse, though, Sarah. Let me tell you.
True.
Yes.
As long as I've got comic books, I'm fine.
Right, we're good.
This one
you already cost somebody money, Sarah.
Yeah, see that? Look at that. DVH.
Yeah, there you go.
Get after it, buddy.
This I think is the second appearance of Batgirl.
I'll say that's my favorite costume of hers still.
Well, with the red wig and the whole schmear, because I can't afford the first appearance, but I could this, and actually this is probably in the 3, maybe 3.5 range, but I got it in a pile of really cruddy detective books. Like I was just like, I need some Carmine Infantino. I'm just going to go, get a lot of them. And this one, I think he could have pulled this one and like gotten more money for it, because I ended up paying basically $4 a book for that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
but he didn't, and now you have it.
But he didn't, and oh well.
That's what he gets.
I love that checkerboard top on those ones.
I was going to say,
those go-go checks,
This is a DC thing, to me, because I'm so ancient, that screams comic books, pull me off the spinner rack.
I love the checkerboard as well, but I think all of us that are over 40, we'll just say 40 to be nice to all of us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love
Go
those.
on.
Right?
Yeah, that sailed a long time ago, buddy.
I was going to say that
here.
Yeah. Mine sailed and sunk a long time ago.
Poor Rogers on the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, 40 is a pipe dream at this point.
I had a birthday earlier this month, and 40. Oh my God, let's put that one astern decades ago. So
you got Milt saying that you're so proud of condition over your books that he loves you.
Oh God.
There we go.
Yeah.
Right, because you know what? Books are meant to be read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They totally are. They totally are. And you won't convince me otherwise.
Just turned 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Brad, I love that, buddy. That's good.
Now, before you get to your next one, is Carmine
Sure.
Infantino one of your favorite classic artists?
Totally. He just
I loved his work on Spider-Woman back then too.
Yeah, he here's another one, just FYI. This isn't counting. This is actually, I have another copy of this book, and it's rattier than this, but I got a nicer one. But look how he works the diagonals. He works the negative space. He put in action on these characters like no one else did ever. And I think it took my friend Neil Adams to boost that up a notch, in the late 60s in terms of making things much more vibrant, like there's motion in this stuff. So Carmine Infantino.
And Chuck says he put in chins too.
Yeah, chins. Yeah, everything Carmine Infantino draws is in motion. I mean, there's no static in any of his art.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why the Flash. That's why he was such a great Flash artist, because he was always in motion as well. So it made sense.
It's funny because you got the chins with him, but with Gil Kane you had the noses.
Yeah,
Gil Kane always had the recognizable noses.
Right. Well, and now I'm wondering, is this a Infantino cover? The fact is, I don't know. I know he did the first Superman Flash race. I don't know. This is Flash. Somebody can look it up 175.
75, yeah.
It doesn't look like him, but you can tell the influence with the. So, the Flash and Superman in the Silver Age and in the early Bronze had 4 races. And so I have all 4 books. This is the one that I was able to put my mitts on. And actually, I think it's my favorite cover of the 4. And there's a Superman one that's more famous. But they're coming at you. Yeah. This I like because of basically what the Flash is doing.
It is Carmine Infantino.
Okay, well, there we go. So, I didn't want to bury you guys with Neil Adams yap. So I was like, what else do I have?
Jackson's on it.
Pencils by Carmine Infantino. So,
I'm pretty shocked we haven't seen a Neil yet. I thought you would lead with that.
Oh, just wait.
Hold your horses.
Hold your horses, sir.
All right, so that book you love because
I just love the colors in it, and the momentum that is communicated in this thing, and I think it's a better depiction of both characters, the best depiction of both characters in this very iconic series of books about having a race between the two of them.
Yeah, and the speed's depicted really well there.
Yeah. So, changing gears. Ooh, scary.
Nice. Now we're talking.
Yeah,
the famous Neil Adam kids.
Yeah, exactly. Neil Adam kids. And I thought Nick Cardy worked on like this too. So again, someone smarter than me. I know Neil Adams did subsequent covers. This is the first issue of the House of Mystery when they changed over to a complete kind of mystery story book. And so this was heralding the new look of the book. And I just think it's beautiful. I really do. And again, but I wasn't going to pay top dollar for even a mid-grade copy of it because I wanted it. And as long as I want to read it. So this is probably, again, I kind of live in the 3.5 range, in my ratty keys, and I'm fine with that.
And then you don't have to feel bad about cracking them open and having to read.
I do not care. I do not care.
I think tonight you're putting a serious hurting on DVH's wallet.
DVH, rabbit hole, buddy, rabbit hole.
He might have some explaining to do to the wife next week.
Yeah.
Have her call me. I'll explain the whole thing.
Send it over to the neighbor's house.
I'll send notes. I'll send, dear fill in the blank. So
I
and
think
so
Mrs.
has my
Hoot's pretty
permission
good.
to spend money.
Mrs. Hoot's pretty good.
Yes. Milt says, I call that cover subtle.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
He's already got the eBay bug tonight.
You're all welcome. All right, now here's one that really looks ratty, even in its little protective bag. This is Swamp Thing number 1. This is Bernie Wrightson. And I,
Missing a little bit of
let's
cover
take
there.
I'll chew that off of there, and I don't care. And this spine roll, I don't know if you can fully appreciate the massive spine roll that's on it. So again,
That's not a big deal.
Yeah,
No, it holds open when you're
Yeah.
reading it. So you don't have to hold the pages. It just sits there and
exactly.
flops.
Yeah,
It-
it opens by itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
does it
that
for
that
you.
cover is so great, though.
It is.
This whole
Fabulous.
run. Okay, so I read Swamp Thing, this run of Swamp Thing in a reprint. And I loved the story and the art and everything about it, the Silver Rose Torture. if the rack fits. So I was like, I want all the original books. I want them all. And here's the other thing about what I like, why I like to have books like this, is I read them, but I like everything about the experience. I like the ads. I like the house ads.
Yep.
I like the stories. The letters to the editor is my killer app. I love it. I love going back to see what people had to say about stories that we now think are classics,
Absolutely.
And so I went back and I bought all 10 of these original books so that I could have that experience, just do a little time travel.
Right. And I love reading the letters from the fans too. The letters page is always great. And
Yep.
I ate up all that stuff too.
Yep. Yeah. So
Well,
it's
what the depressing part is when you go back and you look at Mile High Comics and you find out what the cost of some of the books were back then. Some of the
right.
mega keys.
Right.
You could have bought it for like $2.50.
Yeah.
I
For a
don't know.
181 Hulk.
Did you guys do what I did as a kid, which is those ads where you have to send a quarter to someplace in Passaic, New Jersey,
Yeah.
and then they send you a list, and then you send them, in my case, more quarters taped onto a card, so they would send me comic books, and they weren't bagged. They're bag board. What's that? So
you're lucky if you got them in a bag
envelope
at all.
Yeah.
Just any kind of bag.
Yeah.
They're just thrown into a box and boom, there you go.
One of the things I got to say it too about Bernie Wrightson, the same thing as Barry Windsor Smith, right? The reasons I like those two artists so much is they put so much details in their backgrounds. Like like these guys, you could tell why they missed deadlines sometimes because they were just cared about their craft so much and they put so much love and work into what they were doing.
Just like Perez.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
Except Perez was incredibly fast comparatively.
Yeah, I think you can tell the difference between artists who put their heart and soul and mind into everything they do and others who just like whap, 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 so.
Right.
So, another Wonder Woman. You got to have a Wonder Woman bondage cover, right?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Right.
You say so, Sarah.
I guess.
I didn't know it was a requirement here. I'll have to update my list now.
There's
Beauty hater.
Yeah, this is a two-part story. I can't remember if this is the first or the second, which is actually pretty good, covers aside. But it's during that period in Wonder Woman where she was Diana Prince. She wasn't Wonder Woman, And Magic Lasso and I did a live dive a couple of years back talking about the Diana Prince era, and had a ball going through some of those stories. Some of them, yes, Jeff Jones cover. Excuse me.
Yep,
exactly. Yeah.
Dr. Cyber in the back there.
Yep. And some of the stories are okay. Some of them are so bad they're good. You know what I mean?
Right? Like watching your favorite guilty pleasure cheesy movie, right?
Mhm,
Exactly. Exactly. If you ever come across the Wonder Woman Diana Prince book that you just see, it's called Them. You have to pick it up because if you ever wondered why everyone was so afraid of hippies, Them tried to explain it for you, why they were
Okay.
so dangerous. But,
Okay.
yeah. So
Great cover though. I just love like the silhouette with the use of lights in those type of covers. It's just great.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in these things. You know, I always think the best covers are ones that you can sit in, and every time you look at it, it's like, oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, I didn't see that before. You know,
Right.
I do not know why, but I love Wonder Woman.
Oh, here you go.
Oh, there we go.
Up for you.
70s, even though a lot of people disliked it. My time that.
Yeah,
You
the
know what?
mid-70s, it was pretty rough.
Oh God, yeah. It just kind of sunk, you know, at some point. I think with Wonder Woman, you know, they just didn't know what to do with the character, but they had to keep her in copyright, so they had to publish a bunch of her stuff, or the deal with William Marston would be, or they'd lose
the
her.
rights.
Yeah. So
throw her in a pantsuit and have boring stories.
yeah, that was it.
That was bad.
All right, so let's go back to Bernie Wrightson, shall we?
Weird.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is I think this is the second 100-page super spectacular book. Even though it's number 4, they started with like number 2 or 3 or something like that. It's really weird.
Numbering is bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like EC
What a
Comics.
great cover though. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah,
and I am going to
Goblin
take
dude on there.
And look at the back cover.
I'm going to take it out of the bag to show him.
It's the first virgin.
Exactly. So there's the front. And there's the back.
Oh, freaking cool.
Nice.
That's cool. I like it when they do that.
Yeah.
Take away the trade dress.
Now, what I read is that white line across there. I did not do that. That wasn't me. I did a lot of other things to it, but not that. That was a common printing error, sort of speak. So I mean,
it's on all the books, pretty much.
It's on pretty much all the books, and if you can find a copy of this book that does not have that, you are now a nicely secure, wealthy person, because it is highly, highly collectible. Press the page. I know. Look at that. Look.
That can be fixed, Jackson. She's got the technology.
And that's a glued spine, so those do come out.
Yeah. And they
get heated up enough.
Yeah, because look, you can see that starting to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to stop me from reading it, though.
No.
So.
And you hit DVH again.
Oh no, poor DVH.
Yeah, that's how much it is.
If he just
I
drops
think
out
by the end of
abruptly,
the
we
show,
know why.
DVH is gonna block her.
The other thing that I love about this book is the splash page, where that's a depiction. Bernie Wrightson drew Bernie Wrightson, and he's talking about, hey, let's go take a look at mystery titles.
Look at
Here's
the freaking book
own.
he wrote.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So this is a really special book. If you're a reader, try and find it, or if you find it in a CGC slab, crack it out, read it, have them re-slab it.
And Mark Andrews is right about that. Clear backing boards are great for those.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's Bernie Wrightson. Next on my hit parade. Everyone knows why I have this book, right?
The world's finest.
I don't. I'll admit I don't.
This I bet Roger does, but he's being sly and letting me tell you. This is the book that has the Batman slapping Robin panel.
Oh, the famous meme.
So yeah, Batman slaps Robin. The original panel is in this book.
And what issue is that?
This is World's Finest number 153.
So it's probably a pricey book.
Yeah. I think so. And but again, when you go for the lower grades, which I'm not going to rip it out of, you notice that I put some of these things in Mylar to make it look even. It's like I'm not above that.
Well, they call it Mylar magic for a reason, right?
That's right.
Right.
Everything looks good in Mylar.
Everything doesn't
Polish
it
the
look
pig
great?
right up.
Yeah. So I'm not stupid. So yeah, this is if you want a wonderful piece of comic book history.
The first
This is
appearance of the kryptonite boomerang.
Boomerang rang. Yeah. It was at the
Or
last.
sorry, the batarang. It would be.
Was it the
batarang.
last, Steve? Because it's like really,
That's cool.
I always thought that stuff was funny, right? So he has a kryptonite batarang, but Superman is so fast that anything that Batman has that's kryptonite, Superman could already go around the world on the complete opposite side of it before it even reached him, but he never does somehow.
Yeah. Trying to make sense of superheroes is just a fool's errand. So yeah. All right. And finally, for my 10th book of Ratty Keys, I had to bring in a Neil Adams. I did.
Oof.
So this
Look
is
at that one.
this is Detective Comics 404. And I know this is a 4.5 because the store I bought it from told me so.
Oh,
And they were still charging $30 for it, but that was within budget at the time. So I'll take it. And this is an homage to Enemy Ace, which Joe Kubert did back in the day. And so Neil Adams he did Joe Kubert, you know what I mean, and put these two together in a story. And it's a great read. And in fact, this story was reprinted in that one of the first Treasury editions back in the 70s, the big red one with Batman on the cover.
Okay, yeah.
And I think a reprint of that just came out is coming out this week, right?
No, the big reprint is going to be the Ra's al Ghul stories.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So I have to go soon because I have to camp outside my comic book shop. So I'm the first one in line to get my pull list for that. So I'm going to get it. So my collection, if anyone does me the great honor of wandering over to my page, you will see that Neil Adams is the majority of my collecting days these days. You know what I mean?
Did anyone ever draw a better Bat Cape than Neil Adams? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't think so.
Like he just the Bat Cape he always drew was just amazing.
Yeah, and the energy and like you don't look at a Neil Adams piece of art, you feel it, And so, and the reason he's so special to me is that when I started comic book collecting, it was my family had a summer cottage up in northern Michigan. And we had some family friends who lent me a pile of ratty comics. And when it rains at your summer cottage, there's nothing else to do at your summer cottage. You read these things over and over and over again. And of those books, there was Lois Lane books, there was Batman, there was the Legion of Superheroes. And Neil Adams did covers and some story art for those. And I just kept poring over them. You know what I mean? So that's what formed my comic sensibilities, at 10 years old.
Right, the big love of DC, yeah.
Big love of DC, big love of Neil Adams. Didn't understand like who he was or what, what he brought.
And you don't when you're young, right? You're just enjoying the reads. You're enjoying the stories. You're enjoying this incredible art. I mean, one of my favorites back then was Brave and the Bold. I loved it.
Well, that's funny you mentioned that because we're up to the one,
with a story.
which is a story. So, speaking of Brave and Bold, this is one of those original books, which is actually this. So, I had to go at one point and get a nice, because I didn't have the cover. The cover didn't come with this, so I didn't know what it looked like. So, a few years back, I was like, I'm going to get a higher grade of that one.
That's amazing.
Yeah, this is Super DC Giant S16. Presents the best of the Brave and Bold, Batman, Flash, and Metamorpho. So here's the thing, she says, opening it up. My story is that
Get ready, Roy Kirk. Get ready.
This one is indestructible. I don't know how this is still together.
DVH, have eBay open.
But how to say this? I loved this story so much, and I loved this book. And I remember the summer of 1973, I was 12 years old, and I was put on a bus in the days when you could put a 12-year-old on a bus by herself and go from Detroit to Grand Rapids, which is on your Michigan hand map. Here's Detroit, here's Grand Rapids. And to see my grandmother and my cousins. And so this little scared 12-year-old sat on the bus, and I kept reading this book. And
over and over.
And over and over. And it was like, as long as I've got this book, as long as I've got Batman and the Flash telling me a good story, as long as I've got Metamorpho telling me a good story, I'm going to be okay on this 2.5-hour bus ride. So I was the little girl on the bus, and this got me through it. And
we got another Metamorpho fan here too, Anachronic Comics.
Listen, well, we are still in mourning that we lost Ramona Fraden, who did the art. I mean, I had no idea, this first Metamorpho story, she says, folding it over and risking pulling the staples.
Fold it hard.
Fold it.
I just heard Jackson Roykirk fall.
I know. Yeah. It's like knock twice if you need help, Jackson. But I mean, I just looking at that, and it was just so. Why?
Why
look at that rusty staple, Roy Jackson.
I know. Wait, watch this.
Jackson, look at the rusty staple. Look at that bleeding into that beautiful paper.
The sweat marks on that.
It needs some more water on it.
I know. Oh, wait. I did try and fix it. Tape.
Oh, perfect. That beautiful
you left
tape.
That outside the cottage, apparently, when you got there.
Right.
Gary the Jitterbug will be proud of you. Now conserved.
Jackson, there has to be a law.
Right?
Oh, I claim immunity. Just like, no. So that's my personal story of this book. Fabulous. And the other thing I need to tell you is that you go through comic collecting jags, and right. I stopped when I was later in high school and then in college. I came back to it a few times, and when the internet showed up, then I was like, oh, I'm off to the races here. But at one of those times, I was like, where is that book? Where is that bus book? And I couldn't find it, and I couldn't remember what. I knew it was a team up thing, but I thought it was World's Finest. I didn't have the cover. So I'm searching all around, and I'm like, I'm not getting it. It never dawned on me it was Brave and Bold. So I just thought, oh my God, this is lost to me forever. What a shame. And then I happened to be looking through a box of toys that I had set aside for my niece and my nephew. And this is at the bottom of it. And It was like, old home week.
What a feeling that had to be. Huh?
I wept with joy. I was like, I found you. I'm so sorry I left you in the box.
Now, did you stop immediately and just read it again?
Totally. I flopped it down on the basement floor, and I'm like, oh.
I'm sure she slept with it that night. I mean,
I was like, I love you. I'm sorry.
I love it and hug it and keep it warm.
And then I, quick like a bunny, went to get, a higher grade copy of. I ended up getting high grade copies of all of those original books. But I still have every single one of them. And someone years ago had suggested, the very least you could do with those ratty coverless
things Mylar
is put it in a bag, would you? Just at the very least. So So that's my personal story with the brave and the bold.
Jackson's blood pressure is receding as we speak.
Oh, good.
Right.
Good. Sorry,
Yeah.
Jackson.
Quick lasso, look away. This is torture for you and I.
Poor guy.
I didn't know the secret to making Jackson uncomfortable was to get Sarah on. So she's going to have to become like a regular.
The
Mhm.
hot seat's going to be
Just
awesome.
torture. Anytime he acts up, we'll just bring Sarah on the show.
Superman had kryptonite. Jackson has Sarah.
Yes, Sarah.
Right?
I feel a little bad because I really love Jackson, but then there's also this part that's just super fun to
Torture him a little bit.
yeah.
On the receiving end of a lot of that, Sarah. So trust
Yeah,
me, it's
okay.
great to get something back.
Right. Okay, and finally, you're asking for a spec book.
Yes, ma'am.
I am specking related to the James Gunn Superman movie. I think I think Lois Lane is going to have a big resurgence collecting wise. And I think this because the casting of actress Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane is absolutely the best choice they ever could have made. I don't know if any of you are familiar with her, but she was in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, a TV show for which she won, I think, at least one Emmy and a couple Golden Globes. She's a tremendous actress, and I think she's going to just elevate the character in probably this film.
Nice.
I really do. I think unless they screw it up so badly.
And James Gunn's got a good eye for casting. Whoever he has doing his casting, they do a good job.
And if he has the same kind of joie de vivre in terms of humor and spark, I think the Lois Lane character is going to be super important.
She's got to have some sass.
Entire film. Yeah. So, what Lois Lane book do I think will skyrocket? I don't know, all of them. I don't know. I'm just picking the one that I like and that I've already made some money on. So this one.
Oh my!
Oh,
this is from
Gulliver's Travel cover.
Yeah. This is Lois Lane. Excuse me. 111. Excuse me. A wonderful, let's see, 71. So it's early Bronze Age. I'm picking it because, first of all, it has so much Lois Lane going for it. Lois Lane bondage. Come on. Why not? It has all the Justice Leaguers in it, which is kind of a win on that. It's just a fun, colorful Lois Lane cover. And it's kind of a popular book and has been kind of on the up for the last few years. So I bought it in 2018. Do I know how much I paid for it? I can tell you.
We don't know. We don't know how much you paid for it.
You want to know, or
Absolutely.
Excuse me. It was $160.
Well,
and I was on a 9.6. I was on an absolute jag. So I was spending money on Lois Lane slabs, kind of like a drunken sailor. And so, but I'm glad I did, because the last time I checked, eBay sold one of these things for $320.
I was going to say, just looking now, raw copies are going for like $80 and $90.
Yeah. So this is my spec book. I think Lois Lane and the movie is going to boost the fortunes of anyone who's got some Lois Lane in their collection, because she's a heck of a character. DC, there's a lot to choose from with her. And she's just, I think Rachel Brosnahan's going to just knock it out of the park. I really kind of like Margot Kidder did with in the Christopher Reeve movie. I think she has the possibility of being as unforgettable as Margot Kidder. So that's why. So there you go. Them's my specs.
Very
Because
cool.
we do need Lois Lane to be memorable again in the Superman movie. 'Cause,
Yeah, listen, I'm a big. I liked Man of Steel, and I like
Rachel
Henry
McAdams
Cavill.
is a good actress, but they didn't write the part great.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't. It's not that kind of movie.
Kind of in the background roles mostly.
Right.
Yeah. So there you go. Hopefully, Jackson, are you all right? Please blink twice if you could hear
I think
us.
he's got his oxygen mask on. I think he's gonna make it.
He's got his headphones on. He's listening to his theta waves. He's just kind of mellowing out now.
Got his head between his legs. He's doing his breathing
He's
exercises.
good.
Into the
Paper bag. Yeah.
Paper bag.
Smelling salts ready at the go.
Yeah.
So, no need to worry. No need to worry.
Yes, agreed, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love Amy Adams. I think she's a fantastic.
I said
actress.
Rachel McAdams. I meant Amy Adams.
Yeah,
Thank you.
her.
Thank you, Sarah.
But it just wasn't it was a nothing part, and so I don't think you can cast Rachel Brosnahan in a nothing role, So.
No, her personality's too big.
Yes, exactly. You're right, Gary. Yeah, she's big.
Yep. Stick out, definitely.
Yep.
Like if she's
So
in a
Sarah.
scene, she's gonna steal it.
2 a.m. in the morning, bottle of wine on eBay, and
Right?
Well, I was here. It was
just took her second mortgage out to buy some books.
in my case, I was having some not very terrible health issues, but I was experiencing a bunch of vertigo, which is really no fun. And so in order to make sure that you don't have brain tumors, you have to go through a bunch of tests, which are no fun. And so I would treat myself every time I got through something.
that was a cookie.
I would get home and like, oh, yay!
Sarah gets a
Good
cookie.
news.
I know Sarah got a cookie.
Who's a good girl? You're a good girl.
Who made it through her MRI?
And why not, right?
Yeah, why the hell not? That's actually a great idea.
Well, the MRI was a lot of fun because I had told them, my doctors, that a little claustrophobic here, so can you help a sister out? And they said, absolutely. Here's the Vicodin, I believe it is, or the what do they give you to anyway? And so
They give you some fun pills.
they give me some fun pills, and so you take it the night before, and then you take one as a responsible driver is driving into the test. Valium, that's what it is. It's Valium.
There you
And so I walk in to my little gown, and the guy is trying to help me up on the little thing, and I said, I'm on Valium, and he says, so am I.
Nice.
So I had such a fun time. I think I literally think that's when I bought this book.
You know what that reminds me? Remember that old Tim Conway dentist sketch with him and
Yes.
Harvey Korman?
go. Yes, with the dentist.
Sticking himself
He
with
sticks
this
himself with it. And,
Right.
and watching Harvey there was the best part because he couldn't contain himself.
Right.
Those
He
two
started
together were
laughing.
hilarious. He
Oh,
knew
yeah.
how to break Harvey Korman every time.
Every time.
Yeah,
I
he broke
tell you-
character so much with Conway. Oh, this stuff.
The Carol Burnett show was so important to me as a kid. I can't even tell you. As a kid, I actually wrote a letter to her, and
Did ya?
she sent a letter back. Now
Really?
it was like
That's
this
amazing.
lovely little form letter with a auto signy thingy, but she made sure that well, if a kid writes, we're going to write back. So Carol Burnett,
And I still watch the skits on YouTube. They're still
Oh,
they
yeah,
still hold on.
Yeah, they still pop up. You're right.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
The hot dog vendor one with them too is also hilarious. If you've ever seen that one,
Right.
it's you pee in
Which
your pants.
which
Or
one
when
is
he would say koala, and that was it. Koala. And then Harvey Korman was done.
Like, I'm in a hurry, and the guy.
Oh, it was just such a classy. It was lots of fun. I mean, back in the day, Saturday night was where are you going to be? CBS TV. At one point, they had
Right.
MASH, All in the Family,
Yep.
Mary Tyler Moore.
Yep.
You had to sit through Bob Newhart at 9:30, but then you got Carol Burnett at 10.
Mhm.
So it was.
And then it was off to bed.
and then to bed. So
Right.
yeah.
And it took me an hour to get to bed because you're so high from laughing.
I was
all
so buzzed, from like just
Right, you were
So-
guaranteed a belly laugh with every episode of that show.
everyone. And when the pandemic hit, I binge watched Mary Tyler Moore shows, and
Wow.
boy, are they smart. They just, very, very smart. So
wild.
great stuff. But
I was just
yeah,
binge
so
watching.
Books, Sarah.
what's
yeah,
that?
they were
Those
fantastic.
were awesome books.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate
you came on
that.
here with exactly what this show is about. This show is about the love of books, and you came on with a full love of books. Jackson Roy Kirk be damned.
The Nubia one was the best. The Nubia book, that was by far.
I fooled you, didn't I? You
leaflet.
didn't know that I was going to do that, did you?
That was a great start, just like the pamphlet, like Roger said.
I could picture Roy Kirk's head exploding at that point.
Exploding. Yeah. Well, it actually came apart in full during a live dive that Magic Lasso and I were doing.
I
So
remember
no.
the Wonder Woman fan.
that.
I feel a little bad because I'm not sure he's recovered yet.
Yeah. He just went white.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like I thought he was like zombie. Ryan just went white when that.
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah. And he's such
His
a nice
eyes roll on the back
guy.
of his head, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
If
I'm
you
gonna
ever
have to
get
go
rid
back
of it,
and find
Sarah,
that.
you just gotta mail it to him a page at a time.
The horror.
Oh my God. I'll
One
send
piece at a
page-
time.
One page to him and one to Jackson. One
Right? You guys need to meet up and put that book together.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my God, that's hysterical. Well,
Nobody
you've
knew
given
where
me
the
a
comic
real
book
good
gets
idea.
it.
That was fantastic, though, Sarah. Those were awesome books and awesome picks.
What a great.
Gary,
what a
thank
great-
you so much. There isn't anything I like better than just shooting the shit about comic books with people who like to shoot the shit about comic books.
Do that often.
Look at Jackson. Him and Lasso him and Ryan got a support group.
Sarah's now his trigger.
I know. We should have a trigger
Also,
warning.
that Wonder Woman recovery group, I see it now.
And for all of you that have never seen Sarah before, this is her second appearance on the 1011. So go back and check that out. But more important than watching her on here, go check out her channel and sub her up and follow
I
her.
just subbed you up.
And on
Oh,
Instagram.
thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm very honored.
Her links are in the
That'd be
description below.
Watch her
So-
comic book room tour, and you'll see, that she stole. You would think you're in Neil Adams' basement.
I saw. Yeah,
That's all I can say.
Roger left a comment on that today saying, "How nice of Neil to let you into his room."
She's
Yeah,
got
I
him
saw it
buried in the
before, but I
basement.
said, let me comment today because I knew she was coming on here.
Right.
Holy crap.
Adam's trying.
Yeah, that's
It
pretty much-
is. It really is. I've kind of turned into there's the comic book reader part of me, which is a big part, but there's also, I've become kind of a collector of art. Neil Adams prints. I have a Neil Adams. I had him do a commission. His daughter Zia has done some original pieces for me. So, I think I'm like every comic book collector, basically, isn't it? And they say you start out with books that you rip to shreds, and then you
Yep.
move to books that, I should put this in a self-slab it, or I should go get a CGC. And then you move to art. And so I'm kind of I've moved into the art phase of this.
Gets expensive though.
Well, that's the
It
nice
is.
part.
That's why I stick with prints, and I like to get them signed. You know what I mean? And the Neil Adams folks do a beautiful job with their higher end prints. So yeah, if you check out my room tour, you'll see why.
And that's one of the great
that
things
way.
too about getting older, right? You can go back and you find a new appreciation for the stuff you already appreciate, just
Mhm.
different aspects of it.
Exactly. And
Agreed.
Many
Yeah.
rabbit holes go down in comics, that's for sure.
Right?
oh my God. Well, Gary already gave me one. So after we hang up here, I got to go find Hell in a Windhorn, Tom King. So
So good.
You guys in the chat, you're not the only ones who are
Yep, there we go.
spending money.
Let's spread the joy. Spread the joy. Rabbit holes, scrolling. Everybody go out and buy the book now.
But Sarah, if you read that, you got to let me know what you think.
Oh, I will. Absolutely.
Because I was completely enthralled with that first issue.
Yeah. I can't wait. Magic Lasso's asking, is my favorite artist that's actually alive. I really, I like, oh God, I'm looking up because I have a couple of them. The woman who does the art for, and she's French, so forgive me for not, Elise Charlier, I believe is her name. She does the Love Everlasting.
Yep.
And Alex Ross. I like his stuff too. I think he's really,
that's a good choice.
Yeah, he's so influenced. He's talked about how he's influenced by Neil Adams and the realism and that kind of stuff. I think he took that to the next wonderful level. Kingdom Come. Yeah. It's interesting stuff. So, but I don't, it's hard for me I don't read current books. So 15 years. I hope so too.
Gary Show banned in 8 countries.
And Louisiana, apparently. Jackson Road.
Oh goodness!
You guys are great.
We'll go around the horn here. We'll see what everybody's got coming up. Steve, we'll start with you, sir. What do you got coming up, buddy?
Well, tomorrow night will be the Voices Choices, and then Friday I'm going to pop up a video that I'm sure Chris is the comic vet's been waiting for, the almighty unboxing of the Walmart packs that I won from Rob's Fat Stax when he did the Only Slabs that weeks and weeks ago now.
Oh. And Roger, what's coming up for you, buddy?
Let's see. I'm going to be out for a while, but I'll probably do. I'm starting a series called Obscure Character Spotlight. And Sarah, cool. My first one was on Skate Man.
Skate Man.
Yeah, by none
Roller
other than
derby.
Greatest creation ever, by the way. There was only one issue, one series. So that was a few weeks back, and I'm going to do another one of those either later this week or next week.
Nice. And for me, we have Mark from Legion of Comics on In the Hot Seat in 2 nights. Next week, we have double 10-1-1s. We have Kevin from Entropy in Comics, first time on the channel.
Cool.
And then we have actual Dracula Adrian back for his second appearance next Thursday. So those will be some fun shows. Nice. And but Sarah, what's coming up for you?
Well, I know I literally am going to the comic store tomorrow to pick up my copies of I'm actually getting a foil cover too of the Batman Treasury facsimile, and it's a Neil Adams piece, so I'm going to put together something. And then I've got a couple ideas for my little musical jukebox, so you can check those out. But after that, it's, I think, an arid desert. I don't have any other things.
Radio silence for a little
while. Silence for a while, and then I'll pop up just when you think you're done with me. I'll return.
Right, just when Jackson thinks he's safe, right?
Exactly.
Hey, there was a noise out in the woods. Let's go out and investigate.
Right. I think it's someone ripping up comic books. What is it?
Good stuff.
Yeah, though. Check back next week to see what Shebab has done to that foil cover.
And again, guys, go sub up Sarah. Go sub up Roger. Go sub up Steve. Their links are in the description below. Obviously, fantastic people. Go sub them all up. I want to thank all 3 of you for being on the show. I appreciate you guys very much. These shows work because of people like you. So thank you guys for spending time on my dinky little area here. I appreciate it very much. And we had an absolutely fantastic crowd tonight. And Jackson Roykirk joined us too. So thank you guys so much for coming in. We appreciate you guys in the chat. DVH, I hope your wallet recovers, buddy. And But thank you all so much for turning out. Really enjoy you all, and just fun times. This was a great episode. This is what Sick Gary needed to give him a little pep in his step. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate everybody. And we are just going to end it like I end all of these with a thank you so much and keep it casual. Nope.